for Best Supporting Actor, I think Brendan Gleeson should win because he's incredible. He's always good.
But you know who's gonna fucking win.
You think Short Round is going to win?
He's swept. He's the lock. He has swept everything. If he doesn't win, it's going to be a shock.
I am going to continue to say, even though I do agree with you about Michelle Yeoh, I'm going to continue to say that if we're making a statement against China, then they'll win. If we're not, and we suck China's ass, we won't.
He's Vietnamese, so he's safe.
This could be the biggest upset in history if this movie doesn't win anything. But I think, frankly, that Brendan Gleeson should win because every time I've seen him, he's been incredible. He lifts every movie up just by his presence in it.
Hell, dude, Lake Placid.
Yeah.
Like, he is one of the best parts of Lake Placid. I love that movie, and he's just so fucking funny in it. I agree with you. Brendan Gleeson is an amazing fucking actor, and he does need to get some recognition. Absolutely. Unfortunately, I don't think it's his time. I don't think this is his year. I really don't.
Okay, so moving on.
Now, best supporting
actors. Now, I'm going to agree with you on this one. But first, I want to go through the other ones. Angela Bassett doesn't do anything new in this performance in Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, and you are absolutely... Now, here's
all she does is keep her face straight and not smile.
I can actually say that I have seen Wakanda Forever. I will tell you this much. I enjoyed it more than I did the original Black Panther. I liked it. Do I think that Angela Bassett was anything extraordinary? Not really. And the sheer fact is that, okay, we've had a couple of comic book movie winning performances, ironically enough, both by Jokers. Right. That being said, I don't see it. I think the Academy does not like Marvel movies like that.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be a year where it's not another exception.
I thought it was Angela Bassett's gonna win. I thought it was a ridiculous nomination. I really do.
Now, Stephanie Sue.
I think Rivers Duggan was better in my movie. Okay, Rivers should get a nomination also because she was there and she helped me out when my lead actress bailed on me. Rivers Duggan should get Best Supporting Actress. Anyway, Hong Chow I know nothing of from The Whale. I never saw it.
Oh, dude, now that right. Let me tell you something. This is one of my. If Jamie Lee wins, I'm happy. If Hong Chow wins, I'm almost as happy. Because The Whale, okay, I know you haven't seen The Whale yet, okay?
Not the biggest Aronofsky
right,
film.
I know, but here's the thing. The Whale would not have worked without somebody for Brendan Fraser to bounce off of, and the way that him and Hong Chow bounced off of each other in that movie was fucking incredible.
Okay.
So I was very happy when she got the nomination, and if she wins, like I'll be like, hey, Jamie Lee, I may have think you deserved it, but I also think Hong Chow deserved it too. You know, I just want Jamie Lee to win because it's fucking Jamie Lee. She's my girl.
Well, okay? Before we get to Jamie Lee, I want to bring up Kerry Condon. Kerry Condon is an Irish actress, and she played Mike Ehrmantraut's daughter-in-law for for one season of Breaking Bad and for most of Better Call Saul. And I never knew she was Irish. I saw a little bit of her in this movie. She is wonderful. She's wonderful, but unfortunately, this is one of those upscale kind of arty movies that gets lost in the wayside.
Yeah, but then again, Martin McDonagh, people really like him. Like he's, Three Billboards, a movie that you really like that he did, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Oh, God. I was just thinking about that movie the other day.
Yeah,
I was thinking about how, that was the thing. That was what I was talking about with Black Snake Moan. That it may be missing an act at the end of it but you know what's going to happen. When Frances McDormand and Sam Rockwell get into that car and drive off to an uncertain fate, you know where they're going. They're going to get revenge. We never see that in Black Snake Moan. That's what disappoints me so much. But the movie is supposed to be about the lead up to that moment, and it really works, and that's why I really enjoyed Three Billboards. I thought, I'm going to buy that on Blu-ray. I think it's going to be one of my favorite new favorite movies. But let's get to the last two. Now, for me, Stephanie Sue, she's just playing my daughter, which is a fucking pain in the ass young lady. And you have a daughter too, and you know what I'm talking about. There's nothing in her performance that is stretching. Jamie Lee Curtis, I did not realize it was Jamie Lee Curtis until about 40 minutes into the movie when my wife says, "Is that Jamie Lee Curtis?" And then I looked at her, I was like, oh my God, that she's going to win. She has to win because that is a performance.
Yes, it is.
When you completely are
transform yourself.
When you can't, when nobody can see you underneath what you're playing, right? That is one prerequisite of a good performance. The second one is a good actor behaves like they don't know what the other person is going to say, and then responds, and it's a natural response. Those are the two conditions to a good performance, and she hits them both.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. But frankly, I think the movie was made just so Michelle Yeoh would have to say hot dog fingers. Okay? Now, so we both agree on Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay, so by some weird happenstance, if it isn't Jamie Lee Curtis or Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere, my money is probably, I guess, on your Hong Chow.
Yeah.
Because The Whale seems to be a darling this year.
Mainly for the acting. Like, a lot of people have criticized, like, most people have said this, the acting is on point. It's just the screenplay they were hit or miss on. Like, they don't think it's a poorly directed or poorly made film. It's like a lot of people notice it did not get a screenplay nomination. It did not get directing or best picture for that matter. So, like, the other best way to say it is look at the movie Monster from 2002, I believe, with
Right.
what's her face, Charlize Theron. Yeah, okay.
She did completely
Monster
disappear.
get any other nominations other than acting?
Not that I know of. I mean, I know Patty Jenkins directed it, right? And she directed those Wonder Woman movies.
But everyone agreed that maybe the movie had its shortcomings, but Charlize Theron took what would be considered a bad movie and she elevated it and made it a good film. Well, Ebert himself said it was the best movie of 2002.
There was a lot of antipathy for Charlize Theron, and there were a lot of because it was very, I guess, what's the word? It's kind of cynical when you think about it. Because Charlize Theron, very beautiful woman, she made herself ugly and won an Oscar.
Yes, and also,
I mean, like Nicole Kidman for The Hours did the same thing when she played Virginia Woolf. So you take a beautiful woman, you make her ugly, and then put her in a movie that's an instant nomination.
And you see, that's where Brendan Fraser may get it too, because you take. He
used to be so beautiful,
and he was
Encino Man, for crying out loud.
Encino, dude, Airheads, The Scout, you name it.
He was really good in this movie.
He's Rick O'Connell, for Christ's sake. He'll always be Rick O'Connell.
I don't know if you ever saw this movie called Gods and Monsters.
Yes, I have, dude. Come on. I love horror movies. Of course, I wanted to see a movie about James Whale.
Yeah, James Whale. It's Ian McKellen playing James Whale. Has some kind of weird attraction for his gardener, and his gardener kind of looks like the Frankenstein monster. And I remember seeing that in a tiny little movie theater on the East Side, and nobody was in there. It was like me and my wife. It was like one of the few movies we got to see on our own when Regan was a baby. And I really did enjoy the movie quite a bit. I thought it was incredible.
See what was cool with the SAGs? Brendan Fraser, in his own little way, came up on stage and underhandedly thanked Ian McKellen.
Oh, that's nice.
He basically said, Ian McKellen once told me, be still, be proper, be seated, in his own way, he thanked him. So it was pretty cool.
That's nice. Nice.
He's
a fine actor. I mean, he was Encino Man, of course, but he was also in With Honors, which is one of my favorite films from back in the day.
School Ties.
Cowards! Yeah, I forgot Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
But yeah, Brendan Fraser's I think he's gonna finally, get what's coming to him, and he's gonna be doing that Scorsese movie coming out later this year.
The Mummy movies, man. I mean, the
first two. The less we talk about the third one, the better. But he's had a very long career. He had some setbacks, but it's good to see that somebody out there knew he was a good fucking actor. So in spite of your opinions towards Aronofsky, at least Aronofsky has a good eye for bringing some people back from the dead. I mean, look at the wrestler. Right? Look at the wrestler.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke, man. Mickey fucking Rourke.
I don't know. He's like more what I don't like about Aronofsky is he's another one, like I said, like Paul Thomas Anderson and Sam Mendes. He just wants to shock people for the most part for me. Requiem for a Dream, I hate that movie so much.
Why do you hate that movie?
I just hate it because
I love that movie.
Because it insists upon itself, okay? It insists upon itself.
But let me guess, we all love Pi, don't we?
Pi. I did like Pi, but mainly the reason I liked it was because it was like sort of a marker for us filmmakers who had no money. He made this movie for no money, and it got a lot of attention for him.
Yeah. Well, if only Primer got that got that kind of notice. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
Primer would have never. I guarantee this. Primer would have never gotten the notice it got if not for Roger Ebert.
it's true. That is
Yeah.
true.
So yeah, but I mean, this year, like I said, now we can go to the lesser categories. Like I said, when it came down to screenplay, I think the Daniels, they deserve it and they're going to get it. And I really hope, I honestly hope that
It's going to be that or
Sarah Polley
Tar.
wins. I really want Sarah Polley to win.
It's going to be that or Tar.
Yeah, it is.
And
You're right. You're right.
For adapted, Glass Onion should not be on this list. The Menu should be on this fucking list.
Yeah, the Menu. I agree with you 100%.
For adapted
Menu
screenplay, it's weird. I have no clue. I'm gonna let's say. How about we say Women Talking?
Yeah.
Because Top Gun Maverick.
The other one they're talking about is All Quiet on the Western Front may win.
We'll see. We'll see. Now for animated feature film,
Guillermo's gonna walk away. Guillermo's gonna get it.
You think it's going to be Pinocchio, but I've also heard that the Puss in Boots movie is really good too.
But there's another dark horse one we forgot about. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
No, I did not know this one.
Another A24 flick.
Oh, there you go. No, I have not. Well, maybe we'll get around to seeing that. These movies usually come out after on streaming. Now for international, my money's on All Quiet, of course, because there it is.
There it is.
Now for the rest of these, I have no fucking clue.
Editing is going to be Everything Everywhere.
Really?
That's a shoe-in. I know you
sorry,
didn't like
but
the
editing killed that for me.
It's a shoe-in for editing. As far as score, I have that one. I couldn't even fucking tell you about the scores that have been out this year. I don't know.
How about one last one for John Williams and maybe Carter Burwell, because they're the only two people I've heard of.
Yeah, John Williams might be kind of a shoe-in this year. I don't know. I mean, is All Quiet even up for?
Yeah, it is.
For All Quiet might get it. I think All Quiet is going to sweep in the technical in some aspects, because I mean, in spite of the fact that it's a German film, it's a very exceedingly well-made German film.
I haven't seen it. Have you?
No, and it's on fucking Netflix.
I'm just not in the mood for a war
by the way,
flick
interesting
right now.
case in point about All Quiet on the Western Front. The home video distributor is going to be 15 miles away from my house.
Really?
MPI home video.
Take a drive over there and pick up one fresh off the thing.
Drive over there and get the Blu-ray. Yeah. MPI distributor. They're going to be putting it out on Blu-ray over here or on 4K. So which I think is pretty cool. The home video label that Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer built.
Holy moly.
And Dark Shadows built.
Wait, MPI
home
yes.
video.
Also, they're distributors of Death Spa
and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, for original song, I have no idea, but I'm going to assume David Byrne's going to clean up with his song for everything.
Well, you know what? There's the other ones are talking about. Lady Gaga is still considered a front runner, and then that Nanu Nanu from RRR, they say that one might win. That one won at that one. I know. I haven't even seen RRR. I just know that movie cleaned up at the Globes, and that movie's been getting like best song nominations. A lot of people are crying rap because it didn't get nominated for best international, though.
All right, so I just one thing for production design. I'm gonna say, unfortunately, this is something that Elvis might win.
Yeah.
The production design of the movie is staggering. That's the one thing Baz Luhrmann knows how to do. Babylon, though, looks really interesting as well.
Get it, though. All Quiet might.
I don't know. It's a war film. War films, I don't know about that. I don't know if we're doing. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to see the movie. Why I'm not particularly jazzed is because I'm not in the mood for a war movie. You know.
But in reality, is anybody want to watch war movies anymore?
I mean, we had like Saving Private Ryan and Thin Red Line. We had Full Metal Jacket, Platoon. We've seen the best war movies.
Well, you see, here's my opinion. I'm of the opinion that the last really good war movie that I saw was Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge was, oh man, was that brilliant? That was a good movie.
That was a good movie. I adore the shit out of it, and that was.
They get a bunch of nominations too,
yes.
And I'm kind of glad that Mel Gibson's kind of out of movie jail there.
Yeah.
But,
that was a movie for me where I was suffering from war movie fatigue. That it was like, I've already seen the best war movie ever made. What else you got? It's called like, I saw Saving Private Ryan. What the fuck else do you have to throw at me? Because
what can we do? I mean, it's all been
nothing
said and
is going to beat that. And then Hacksaw Ridge comes along, and I'm like, okay, there's my big slice of crow pie right there. My buddy was the guy who got me to watch it. I had no interest. He said, John, you got to watch this movie. You got to watch it. And then I'm like, all right, man, you win. This movie's fucking amazing. I did not think it was going to be that good. The acting is a little spotty in some places, but overall, it's a fucking amazing movie.
Okay, so cinematography. Just you got. I know a lot of these names here. Well, Darius Kanji, Mandy Walker, and Roger Deakins.
What's
Bardo.
Deakins up? What's Deakins up for?
Deakins is up for Empire of Light. Which
No, he ain't gonna win. He's out.
he's not going to win. That's Sam
No,
Mendes.
he's not gonna win.
Sam Mendes again.
Sam Mendes. Roger Deakins already got it. Like all them years of a drought, and then he got it fucking twice.
You got it for Fargo, right?
No, he got it for Blade Runner 2049,
right?
And he got it for 1917.
Oh, he didn't get it for
No, he got it for Blade Runner, dude.
Fargo?
No, he lost.
No, he lost.
He lost. That was English Patient was the year. That was the big year of the English Patient.
Oh.
English Patients, like Fargo got screenplay. That was Fargo got screenplay and Best Actress. That was it.
You know,
English
I'll tell
Patients swept the house after
was
that.
Was that 96, 97? Or
96.
See, now I got to think that 95 was probably the last really good year because once I saw that English Patient was nominated and then I watched it, I was like, well, that was a big bag of shit for nothing. It's
yeah,
like
snooze.
Really long ass movie for no reason based on.
But then Anthony Minghella redeemed himself into Talented Mr. Ripley, and that's a fucking great movie too.
Talented Mr. Ripley shocked me. It was like a Hitchcock movie practically.
Yeah, it was a really good fucking movie. And
actually, Hitchcock, from what I read, Hitchcock wanted to make that movie, but the homosexual overtones were too much for the studio at the time.
Probably.
All right, so now Bardo is interesting because it's Darius Kanji, and we just watched Birdman recently.
I don't think Bardo's not going to win because it's got a lot of bad press.
Because
you know what they said. You know what?
You
want to know what they
nomination?
They said it was They said it was Inarrito's big grand jerk off project.
Yeah, but Birdman strikes me as that too.
But no. Look at Damien Chazelle. He made his big old jerk off project, fucking Babylon. I have no interest in that fucking movie.
Yeah, but production design wise, I have that at a close second because
Babylon.
The design looks really good though.
Yeah,
you have to remember you have to separate the movie from the technical end. You know.
Okay, so by your logic, Heaven's Gate should have gotten it for production design.
Oh yeah,
all them years
you
ago.
fucking kidding me? They totally Cimino was out of his mind and recreated the Old West. Yes, absolutely, without the benefit of visual effects. You know.
So Damien Chazelle went on to recreate the 1920s.
Yeah.
During the silent film era.
Well,
so why not?
In a heavily stylized fashion, though.
Yeah.
So, but for cinematography, I'd have to put obviously Elvis would probably be there, and maybe All Quiet on the Western Front. Then
I would say that
for the makeup and hairstyling. I can't even. Go ahead.
Oh, is Everything Everywhere even up for cinematography?
No, it's not.
Okay, good. Yeah, just editing. Production design. Even that, is it even up for production design?
No, it's not.
Wow.
Well, I mean, most of the movie takes place in offices, you know?
Yeah, you're right. So I guess there is some technical it could get, but not a ton of technical.
Yeah. Now, makeup and hairstyling.
The whale.
You think it's going to be?
You know what they said about The Whale? They said if The Whale wins for best makeup, Brendan Fraser's going to win for best actor.
How about The Batman, a 3-hour movie I couldn't even see?
Yeah, and the only reason that's up for an Oscar is because of again, we go back to Colin Farrell playing the Penguin. He disappeared into the role. That was one of the best performances of the year, and unfortunately it wasn't. It was a great performance as the Penguin. You would not think that's Colin Farrell to fucking look at him one bit.
Yeah, I know. They did do a fine job with Colin Farrell. Paul Dano, on the other hand, no.
No. Bad ruler.
Now, okay, let's just move past. We already did the film editing. Costume design, definitely either Babylon or Elvis, I think. Wakanda Forever might come up there.
Yeah.
But there's nothing special about Everything Everywhere in terms of its costumes, except unless you count hot dog fingers.
No.
Now, best visual effects is our final category here.
Avatar or Top Avatar. Oh, you know what they were talking about editing? What might get editing though is fucking Top Gun might actually get it. They said there's a big push for Top Gun to get an editing, and cinematography because of all the aerial stunts that they performed. Because all that shit was done in camera.
From what I've seen, it doesn't look as wonderful as maybe as beautiful or as put together as the original because it's missing a key element. The movie is missing a key element of its success, which was Mr. Tony Scott.
Yeah.
Tony Scott was
Kosinski's
one
a good director
of the most influential, and for good or bad, he was one of the most influential filmmakers of the 80s and 90s.
He made some stinkers, but he made some great fucking movies, man.
Even
He
his
did.
stinkers were still so beautifully
Yeah,
made.
like Last Boy Scout is a movie that a lot of people think it's like this underground hit. And
I'm gonna watch. We're gonna watch
I
that.
will,
That's on my TiVo this week, and we might watch it.
I watched it again recently, and I still think, I mean, it's not a horrible movie, and I do rewatch it on occasion, but it's just not a great movie. And so many people say, "Oh, you got to see The
Yeah.
Last Boy Scout," and I'm like, I'd rather watch The Long Kiss Goodnight. I'm going off the screenwriter. I'm going off Shane Black.
Rennie Harlan.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'd rather watch that.
Beverly Hills Cop 2 is not my favorite. I think it's the worst of the three, but it is beautifully shot.
Yes, it's a well-made film.
And also, I mean, you have Crimson Tide, you have
The Hunger.
The Hunger, you have Revenge, you have True Romance. Oh,
True Romance.
beautiful,
Yep.
beautiful. When he committed suicide because he found out he was dying of cancer, and it was just absolutely heartbreaking. It was such a thing when he died, man.
Yeah, that was terrible, but I agree with you.
So you think
about,
Avatar definitely?
Visual,
Why the fuck is Batman nominated? I couldn't see a fucking thing.
Yeah, I know
That movie was so dark.
Black Crush.
I was like looking at my TV trying to figure out, am I settings off or something?
That's why, dude, I bought that on 4K, but I am like so scared to watch it in 4K because I'm afraid it's just going to be nothing but Black Crush, like here, there, and everywhere, and I don't like that shit.
Maybe they'll have an option on the 4K where you can raise the brightness.
Well, no, you want to know? You want to know how you circumvent that?
How?
You turn off the HDR.
Okay.
The high dynamic, because you can do that with certain, like was able to do that on a couple of movies just for comparison's sake. Like you can still watch it in 4K standard dynamic range, and that will alleviate the Black Crush issue. But then if you turn on the high dynamic range, you're going to get nothing but Black Crush. So it's modernism. That's what it is. But yeah, we'll see what happens when I decide to watch the Batman in 4K. But yeah, Avatar is probably going to sweep visual effects. I mean, if All Quiet's nominated, it could probably pull a squeaker. It
Right.
could.
Yeah,
I don't
it
even
is.
know if it's nominated. It is, yeah. So
Yeah,
it
it
could
is.
pull a fucking squeaker. But I think that Avatar is going to be the James Cameron Jerk Off Award of the Year is going to be for Avatar.
Do you think it's going to be? James Cameron has really gone down in my estimation. I mean, like some of the things he's saying in the press now, I know he's doing it to get clicks, but there's something wrong with that dude.
Hey
It's
man,
gotten
James
weird.
Cameron
I am
doesn't do
sick
what James
of-
Cameron does for himself. James Cameron does what James Cameron does for the good of mankind.
Just my final, can I just say, I have a plea. I want to see the extended version of The Abyss on Blu-ray. That's all I care about.
And oh yeah, and you know what? It was supposed to, funny enough, it was supposed to fucking come out this month. Where is it?
Doesn't he say that like every few months? Oh, it's coming out. We're almost done. We're almost done.
We're almost done. We're almost done. I just got to quit jerking off on fucking Avatar. Then I can go back and do a fucking 4K scan, and I can sign off on it, and Disney can fucking put it out. But
Didn't he just say? Didn't he say recently that Thanos had the right idea? I mean, what the fuck is wrong with him? Jesus. Yeah, Thanos had the right idea. Wipe out half of the population. Shut up, James.
Hot-headed Canadians. What do you expect?
Jesus. Anyway, let's wrap it up. That's enough of this talking about this. Basically, whoever wins didn't deserve it. And movies have sucked since 1996. That's it.
I begrudgingly agree. I'll say that much.
Begrudgingly
agree. We haven't had a really good year in movies for a while, but this one I just wanted to talk about it because it's like the acting categories are just outside of supporting actor. The other three are all over the place. It could be anybody's game.
I say we interrupt the Oscars, do a halftime show, and we tie up Will Smith, and we have Chris Rock repeatedly slap him for 5 minutes. That's what I want.
I'm down with that.
Because Will Smith,
like you said, unless Adam Carolla.
he's
comes
another
out on
guy.
stage
He's
and
another
bitch
guy
slaps Jimmy
who
Kimmel.
my estimation of him has dropped because of that. The slap for me really just reduced my opinion of him.
No, that, and
It
I
really
think it's
did.
going to hurt his career in the long run. I mean, he did that one movie that came out this year, Emancipation. It was like an Apple TV movie. And like everyone was saying it was going to be like, oh yeah, it's going to be Will Smith's comeback. And then I saw who made it. I'm like, Antoine Fuqua. And I'm like, this movie's going to suck.
Yeah.
And sure enough, what happened? It sucked.
Yeah.
So yeah, Antoine Fuqua, you made one good movie, buddy.
And Chris Rock dissed it too, which was hilarious. Which is awesome. Chris Rock, we got your back, buddy.
Yeah. No one should ever have to go through what he went through.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
all right.
Let's just hope we have a good controversy. You know what? I want to see one good controversy-free Academy Awards.
Really? Because that's what I'm counting on, something to make people uncomfortable. Like I want, like I don't know, somebody to rip up the picture of the Pope or something like that, or rip up a picture of some Putin or something, or Zelensky or something like that.
What sucks is, man, I got to buy a fucking antenna this week.
Why?
Oh, because remember, I don't have cable anymore.
So you're not even going to have basic cable?
Well, here's what's going to happen. I have to work on Sunday, the night of the Oscars, okay? But we have a TV at work, okay? And we have cable at work. So I can pop on
You
the
actually
Oscars.
have cable at your job, but not at your home.
Yeah, wow. I know. Ironic, don't you think about it? I mean,
I know what you're talking about.
Brutal honesty, dude. Okay, I honestly don't need an antenna. If I subscribe to Hulu Live, I could fucking watch it on Hulu Live. But I don't want to pay to fucking get Hulu Live, so I don't care.
Gotcha.
You know,
no, but I completely understand your cable thing, because our bill has gone up ridiculously.
Dude, even with internet and home security, my cable bill or my bill is like $140 a month. You know, and that's just for
ours is getting up to close to $300 a month.
Yeah, it's just with inflation and the way things have gone, you had to make sacrifices, and I don't watch a lot of cable anymore.
I understand, and food, the cost of food has gone up dramatically. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, hey, as they say, sacrifices, decisions had to be made, and getting rid of cable was, in my opinion, a smart decision. It just sucks. I still got to run out and buy a set of bunny ears just so I could watch the fucking Oscars. But it is what it is, you know. But I'm probably just I'm gonna hang around at work.
Do you at least get decent reception with the antenna?
Oh yeah, you get like 100+ channels out here in Chicago.
But do you get good reception though?
Yeah, we get good. I've used it.
Because in New York we don't really get the greatest reception on certain channels anyway.
But a lot of them are the old UHF ones, right? Are they a lot of the old UHF stations?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know how big their broadcast range is still, even though they made the digital switch. I don't know if they got the big push like you know, your big three networks, you know. But even back in the day, what was funny is like Channel 2 out here, which was our CBS. It was like
CBS too.
Yeah, ABC always came in great on antenna out here in Chicago, but like Channel 5, you had to adjust it, and Channel 2, one day it would look great, the other day it would look like shit. So it was weird. But now with digital, it looks good. All the channels come in pretty clear. You get some dropouts every now and again, but as long as you have a really good antenna, you don't got some problems. But that being said, I'm just going to probably hang around work for a couple extra hours, watch Jason clean out the fucking fryer, so I can just, okay, I'm watching you clean out the fryer when I'm secretly watching the Academy Awards. Fuck you, dude.
We are doing our usual tradition for the Academy Awards, which is I make chicken parmesan, and we watch a movie, and then we watch the Oscars. That's usually, the chicken parmesan is a tradition on Oscar Sunday.
I'd say that's good tradition. I'm just going to be slinging pizzas on Sunday, and I really don't care.
You're going to be slinging hash and fucking your boss. I love Rodney Dangerfield in that movie. He should have gotten a nomination, too.
Oh, well, some of the great comedians don't get them. Like, look at Bill Murray. He should have won, but he got fucked by Sean Penn, who didn't deserve it. But that's another conversation for another time.
All right. Well, let's wrap this one up.
Yep. So good luck to everybody on Oscar night. And
remember, you're all winners.
You're all winners.
Because the nomination. Because as Hitchcock once said, the Academy Awards are trivial bullshit unless you're nominated.
Because that nomination could help your career.
Yeah.
More than anything. It could get you some good work.
All right. Good night.
Good night, guys. Like, share, and subscribe as always.
Okay. Done. And